I distinctly remember a couple of months before my GCSEs, about a year or two ago, I was sitting at my PC playing San Andreas. I know this is a strange way to start the video, stay with me. I'd been playing it for a few years and I was really enjoying this latest playthrough as I was finally attempting to actually finish the full game, but after a while I just wasn't enjoying it. And I mean the exact kind of not fun that you see in YouTube videos all of the time. The kind that have Steve on the cover and broken bananas, you know what I'm talking about. And then the thumbnails will have this bold text claiming that gaming is dead and that media as a whole is uncreative and that nobody is making anything good anymore because the media corporations killed all of it. And I'm here today to explain why I think that is a bunch of crap. I think that something that's overtaken the media landscape as of late is this idea that all of the media you consume is garbage and that everyone should be upset because the content creators that have been playing the same games for eons are starting to dislike things. It forces you to confront the idea that the hobby that you've loved for years, decades even, simply sucks and that it was never good in the first place. And that can be a hard thing to think about, especially considering the amount of money that people can spend on this kind of thing. The idea didn't really frustrate me at the time. In fact, it was almost pleasing. As mentioned, I had big exams coming up, and if there was any part of my life to get a phase but I was out of gaming, that was probably the time. Not to brag, but I did get through that time, and I did relatively well on said exams, and later returned to the medium as if nothing had ever happened. Then I continued onto my preferred college, where I am now studying a bunch of useless creative shit that one day will probably be replaced by AI. Thank you, Elon. But after those exams passed, it only took a couple months for me to be right back into gaming as if nothing had ever happened. So what did happen? And why do so many people experience this? Why is it so easy to just lose interest in a medium that you've really liked your entire life? Now, I've actually kind of been lying. I didn't just have this whole thing happen one time, it's been more like 3 or 4 times throughout my entire life that mostly occurred within the past few years. As far as I'm concerned, the most recent one left me feeling incredibly demotivated to touch the video game medium after playing Witcher 1 for like 20 hours straight. Afterwards, I read a 500-page Stephen King novel in 4 days and watched 2 movies a day for nearly an entire week. This is what I call the media interest cycle, and yes, I will trademark it when I have the money. I personally find that I lose so much interest in video games or books or TV or movies or anything else if I do too much of it within one specific length of time, whether a day or a year. If I play video games too much for 1 month, I can go the next month without even touching them. Sometimes with books, for 1 week I will basically consume a library and then I won't touch it for actual months. I used to find that hard to balance because I used to have the obsession with gaming as an entire medium, which means that when I went off of it and I couldn't even touch it for a month, I just didn't know what else to do, and I think that that is the factor that fuels these kinds of overwhelmingly negative YouTube videos. When you fall off of the thing that defines your life, you essentially fall off of media itself in your life. Now, these are personal, introspective anecdotes that don't really apply to everyone, but I've talked to enough people while making this video that I've come to the conclusion this is a relatively common thing, and I think we should get into what I call the doomer cycle that you have probably seen a lot as of late. I talked earlier about a trend I was noticing on the internet, and it drives me insane. There are so many videos I see called Why Video Games Aren't Fun, Why Modern Gaming Sucks. And to be clear, yes, a lot of things about modern gaming do suck. Microtransactions, AI, live service, slot games being pumped out. There are a lot of concerns, but most of these exist within the AAA industry and not really anywhere else. But these videos seem to be obsessed with the idea that nothing should ever change ever, and that the things that appeal to you as a kid no longer appealing to you means that nothing ever will. The media fed to you as an adult is very different from as a kid, and that's okay. It's okay for your tastes to stay the same, but there's also nothing wrong with branching out and looking at more things that you might enjoy. I'll discuss a bit more about how I personally avoid this mentality later on, but the solution to this whole conundrum isn't just to cry and complain online about how things aren't fun for you anymore. Branch out, do more things. If you've played nothing but Call of Duty and Need for Speed ever since the 360 days, I can understand why you would be burnt out. Big franchises simply do not last unless said franchise is controlled insanely tightly or releases once every 10 years. Every single franchise will simply slip and very rarely meet a new height more than once. Especially when you consider the way that the AAA pipeline currently works, it just isn't healthy. This system is constantly misunderstood by the people that make these videos, and even as someone who clearly isn't a game developer, it's so easy to find flaws in the logic of supposed full-time professional YouTubers who are talking entirely out of anecdotes and nothing else. You see this a lot where people seem to think that game developers are out to get them specifically, that some kind of greedy CEO sitting in a massive chair is making every single decision behind a AAA disaster, and that's why people are getting frustrated with video games, which is just a kind of childish mindset in my opinion. The same goes for movies as well, by the way. I hear so much that cinema is dying because everything will feel like it's dying when you're living through it. Think about it, look back at a specific year from the 90s and count the amount of blockbuster, incredible films that came out in that one year and compare it to this year. The truth is, it isn't that different. However, when you look back at that year, you'll only be remembering them, whereas when you look at the year you're in currently, you're going to see everything, including the garbage. And when you look back at the garbage, you can realize cinema in terms of pure quality hasn't actually changed that much, you just only remember the good bits. The same goes for everything. There's a reason why your childhood will seem better in your memory, and that's because your nostalgia will keep the good parts and normally silence the boring and bad parts. Your life normally doesn't get more boring as it goes on, it might even do the opposite, but you're living in the moment. You're only remembering the best moments. Don't get me wrong, we are not in a golden age for movies, especially not box office results. It's pretty bad, but the mere concept that creativity is dead just isn't true by any metric. The amount of all-time great movies we've gotten in the past couple of years just isn't that different, and I think it's a shame that people don't notice it. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It will remove your boring memories, because why would you remember that? But, crucially, and the reason I'm even making this video is because it's possible to break free of this doomed cycle that everything will always get worse, no matter how hard you try. And I mean this across all media. What I'm about to say is sometimes going to be for a specific medium, but a lot of the time it goes for everything. First of all, you really need to learn how to break out of your comfort zone, in my opinion. Look through your games or your movie library and just see what you haven't tried because you're scared to try it, and then play it, even if just for an hour. Go back to games you used to love, try some classics that you've never touched, while waiting for new releases you want. Rather than buying the modern slop, look back at the older releases in that catalogue. Stop playing quadruple A, mega fuck, open world, big boy video games pumped out, and just go play some indie things, please. Same with movies. Stop watching big budget Marvel MCU stuff and go watch some indie films at like an art house place. I promise they're better. Have a personal project dedicated to the medium that you love. Review things, write about your thoughts on titles, collect dumb bullshit and display that dumb bullshit with respect. Read a damn book. I'm being serious, please. I know that we're brainrotted beyond belief on this channel, but when was the last time you read something of your own accord? Here are some personal favourites. It's pretty cool. Same with music. Please, just stop listening to the same 5 tracks. Spotify is actually one of the only good modern services I can think of that will show you new things to listen to. It has a new song/artist selector to find new things that I would really recommend giving a try, especially in a world where stuff like YouTube and TikTok seems to just pump the same 2 channels that you already watch into your For You page. Start watching your media on websites that focus on new, original, human-made content, rather than looking towards stuff like YouTube or TikTok, which, as mentioned earlier, will just feed you the same stuff as well as slop AI content. But most of all, just consume a larger range of media. When gaming stops hitting the same way, watch a film. When films stop hitting the same way, listen to music. When music stops hitting, read something. Just don't stick to one medium, because it will make you go insane. Maybe actually try playing or watching things with other people, it seriously helps. But most of all, on top of all of it, just do what you want to do, rather than what algorithms or your dopamine hit tells you what to do. Because at the end of the day, they don't really have your best interests in mind. Now, it's a bit hard to write a conclusion to this kind of thing, so I guess I'll just mention that this is a bit of a personal project to me, and I don't generally show my face on the internet. It's something that deeply pisses me off, and I just need to get out, and I think it's a personal thing, so I can't just talk with my silly avatar person like I do with game reviews. There are tons of examples of other ways to make media fun that I haven't even mentioned, like taking enjoyment over convenience. I personally find that I engage more with physical media when I use Blu-ray or vinyl or DVDs or CDs, cassettes, anything like that. And with the exception of vinyl, none of that stuff is too expensive. It can be done by basically anyone, and it just makes a closer connection to things. Same goes for physical video games and personalizing your property. And stop falling into rage-bait content that gets posted online. This has kind of turned into a weird therapy session video, which isn't my intention. I know that this channel is niche and will get drowned out by the hell that is the algorithm on YouTube, so it's only really going to be viewed by my friends. And if they're listening right now, hey, I know you're watching this, Sam. Leave. Stop. Go.